Hey boss, I just got your beer delivery, mate. Should I bring it in or? Okay.
Fuck's sake, sorry mate. What have I told you, Joe? Just drop it there, mate. I'll get him to come up and give you a hand. Thanks, there. Mate, it's no wonder I can't get anyone to deliver it, is it? You bleeding weirdo. Alright, pal.
Morning.
How you doing?
Oh, a bit under the weather.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So,
Got in late last night, didn't you, from Sydney?
yeah. It was a big night. That was all that noise last night.
Last night?
Was this people making noise? No.
Were they the noises in your head, Steve?
Well, something while I was sleeping, and I thought, what's going
The
on?
beer delivery truck turned up this
well.
morning. Maybe those were the noises. Have you sort of lost a little bit of time?
Yeah, mate, yeah. You know, it's that time difference between flying from Sydney, that whole hour there lost.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, it was fun.
Fair enough. All right. Anyway, I seen your. I got your video. Got all my gear back.
Yeah.
Saw your video. Watched it.
Yeah.
It's a bit compelling, isn't it? I haven't watched it all the way through.
Me either.
No. Did you see John this morning? You've seen his new pig.
Kenny.
Yeah. Fucking Kenny. He was going to call it Brad, but he wasn't sure, so he's gone for Kenner.
It's a huge Suffolk. What do you call those things? Suffolk pig. See the balls on it.
I didn't really look at the balls though, but fair play, I'll take your word for it, mate.
Have a look next time he walks past.
I will do, yeah. Kenny the pig, imagine that. I don't know where he's got the idea from. Yeah, Kenner, perfect name for a big fat pig.
He looks like a Kenny. He was born with it.
Brilliant. Anyway, so I've been looking at your video. Right. You haven't seen the rerun on this yet, have you?
No.
No. Right. Okay. Now I've got the laptop here, so I'll have a little bit of a punt around on it. Right. So bear with me 1 second. Now, I'm just going to quickly play it, and away we go. Got your specs on, haven't you? Right. Ready? Here we go.
Yeah. Thanks for welcoming me to your Sydney office. This is pretty amazing stuff here. I wanted to ask you why you think climate change has been debunked, and you know what. Because so many people out there screaming about, ooh, climate change, the world's heating up, it's humans heating the world up. Is it?
No, definitely not. It's all cyclical. You know, over thousands of years we've had many droughts, floods, and it's all to do with the solar system and planetary cycles.
And hang on. Let me stop you there. So basically, he's saying that this climate change stuff is nonsense. It's fake. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, he uses the word cyclical because things are in cycles. I'll give you an example. That the moon observation, if you sat and looked at the moon, it would take you 18 years to get all of the moon positions, distances from the Earth, between the sun, etc., before you would actually have a full understanding of how the moon goes around the Earth. It would take 18 years of observations.
Is that how long he's been doing this for? Did somebody do it before? Is this his stuff, the moon stuff?
Well,
or is this what you just know because you're clever?
Well, he did explain it to me once, and I did read something recently about that moon thing. And he's using the cycles. That's a small one, 18 years, moon thing. He's using 35 years, 1,000 years of information. Anything as far back as he can go, he can get all the cycles of all that stuff that's happened, and then tie it into...
So fundamentally, he's saying that this climate change scare, this whole idea of the climate is changing because of, is it man-made carbon and all that sort of stuff, and that they're saying that there's more, you know, we're seeing that there's more climate events, extreme climate events, that's the terminology, and it's hotter here and this, that and the other. He's saying that that's nonsense. That's what he's saying. And he truly believes that, even with all the science that's out there.
Yeah, he believes that anything that humans do on the planet will not affect the weather.
Fucking hell. Fair play. All right. Okay, well, we're only 33 seconds in and already I'm starting to get a little bit worried about it, but there we go.
Right.
Anyway, bear with me 1 second.
Yeah.
Right.
The solar system and planetary cycles.
So whatever humans do on the planet can't affect anything to do with those cycles, is what you're saying?
Correct. What people are getting mixed up with is the environment mixed up with weather, and the two separate subjects. You know, one's ruining, cutting down trees or whatever, and putting concrete roads and stuff like that. That's the environment, but it doesn't stop it from raining or stop it from being a drought.
So the weather's separate to that? So
Weather's completely separate.
So what you're saying is that even though if we burn all the trees down and everything, in 10 years, the weather would not be affected by that, burning down all that stuff?
Correct, because the trees will grow back as soon as it starts raining, and on the poles there's no trees anyway. It's cold and dry.
So where does all the oxygen come from if it's not no trees? I know there's oxygen coming out of the ocean, like
There's carbon, yeah.
a fifth of the oxygen comes out of the oceans, but you know, people are more worried about humans polluting the planet and putting out CO2 than they are anything else, and they're trying to stop everyone, make everyone responsible for their own emissions and all that sort of stuff. Is that going to change? Anything?
Well, we need CO2. If we don't have CO2, we're all going to die. I mean, CO2 over the last 20, 30 years, the yields of plants have, grown higher and higher.
So the plants are using the CO2 to increase the speed of their growth?
Well, and increase the yield. So we need CO2. But not that I'm an expert on that side of things. I'm more into cyclical, what causes droughts and floods.
So what do you think there's all this hysteria about climate change and global warming? Is there some other plan behind this? Is there a reason why they're creating some sort of fear factor and trying to get people to get scared about it? Is it?
Yeah, I think it's basically money control. It's all about taxation and keeping people under control, and the best way is to keep them scared all the time.
And that's one way to scare them, you think, is by saying that this...
Right, so scare tactics. So now he said they. So who's he talking about?
I think possibly governments of countries, not specifically anyone, but the example he's using is scare tactics. When that Y2K, if anyone remembers Y2K,
that was the millennial thing, wasn't it? Where they said the millennial bug.
Yeah.
That's when they said the whole internet world was going to collapse.
Yeah, it's going to shut down. And everyone's running around going, what's going to happen at midnight tonight? And of course, the fear that was running through people, and they're going to save back up all their data and everything was going to get turned off, it didn't happen.
So he's talking about taxes. He's talking about taxes. He's talking about carbon taxes, isn't he?
Well, I don't think so. I think he's talking about, like I was saying, with war, the American government says, we're at war, but I'll protect you. And those kids who are in the, country there, they pay tax to keep you in charge, so you protect us. So the fear factor is the scare tactics that they use to try and keep people under control. He said something about control, having control there. And so they use this as a sort of controlling factor, because apparently no one else can do anything about it apart from the government. So you pay your taxes. Those people who believe that, that's fine. I'm not saying I believe either way. But what he's saying is that when they say they use tactics, he's talking about governments and...
Well, you see, I've heard this before
UNESCO.
On the interweb, and it was all about carbon tax. It was all about the banking system. The theory behind it is that the banking system, what the banking system's trying to do is to create another method of taking money off us, or some form of monetary system, because, of course, the monetary system, the value of money is starting to die, like the American dollar, as it starts to sort of move backwards around the world or contract around the world. Yeah, that's why they were so scared about Libya, Gaddafi, who was going to have gold coins to buy oil, and the Saudi countries were going to do it. This is the theory that I'm hearing, which makes a bit of sense.
Well,
you know what I mean?
We could be heading towards a cashless society.
Yeah.
Bitcoins are sort of that sort of thing.
And carbon tax would fit nicely into that, wouldn't it? I suppose.
So
it's a method of the banks
Does that mean
controlling
the more carbon you produce, the more tax you pay?
basically. Yeah.
So if you're a coal miner,
Well, you actually buy. No, like with your house, the theory is that with your house, so this is what this line of conversation was saying. It was just some innocuous YouTube channel, not like this one. It was a lot. The line of thought was that you as an individual get carbon credits, so you don't get wages, you get carbon credits for doing like switching on your lights, or you have to buy them. But it's a monetary system, and the banks are behind it. I mean, I'd have to look more into it, but I don't know. But clearly, what he's saying, it's scare tactics.
Yeah,
they want to keep us frightened, which fits, I suppose, doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway, that's a bit compelling. I don't know either way, quite frankly, mate, because I just run a pub, and I think they should just have beer tokens across the world. Yeah, then we wouldn't worry about any of this shit, would we? Do you know what I mean?
This is, catastrophic global warming, and yet you're probably going to say over the thousands of years, whatever, the temperatures have gone up and down, even without humans being here.
Yes, I mean, the temperatures have been high by 10 degrees and stuff, thousands of years ago. We've had 200-year droughts. In Australia, in the last 1,000 years, we've had a 39-year drought and a 23-year drought. And the smaller drought was actually the Federation drought, which was about 8 years. And this one currently will probably be a little bit worse than that.
Oh, no one must have. So you're doing long-range weather forecasting now. I notice you've got all these charts here. You've got your weather prophet sign up there. You've also got, this is what we call an ephemeris, for those people who are familiar. An ephemeris is a chart showing all where all the planets are, the sun, the moon, at any one given time. So you use that.
Yeah.
What's this big plastic thing you got here?
Well, that's basically that fits over here. Obviously not on this chart over on the chart paper, but basically when the planets are pointing towards this point Vega, you have a drought, and opposite you have a flood. But it's these invisible angles, and there's a few others that are not shown on here, that create smaller droughts and smaller floods.
Oh, right.
Temperature changes.
So you can do variations in that by degrees?
Yes.
Okay.
So at the moment we've had Jupiter, Saturn and Inigo didn't use Pluto, but Pluto's on this point, so we've got extra dry. So you can get variations obviously because they're not yearly cycles, they're parts of the year. So you could have two planets here and one opposite, well that's going to calm down the drought a bit. But when they're all over there you have a major drought, when they're all over here you have a major flood.
It seems too simple way that scientists understood or talked about this ever.
Well,
fucking, he just said the Federation drought. The Federation drought in 1901.
Which was when this place was burnt down, you were telling me. And
Oliver Felberg the third, the
right.
Federation drought. That was from 1897 or something like that. I'll have to check again.
1901 was Federation, but that was
It was called the Federation drought.
During that time, Federation
Shit.
drought. 8 years.
Oh, right.
So this is going to be a bit longer, he reckons.
Well, when did this one start? Because you didn't say that, did you?
No, I should ask him.
Was it last year, wasn't it? Was it last year that it started to dry up?
Yeah,
and the farmers were running out of feed and stuff like that?
I think it maybe in the last couple of years even. But like he was showing those planets lined up there on one side.
Well, I was going to say, I actually wrote it down here because he said, didn't he? He said the planets are now in alignment for
drought.
For drought.
And then when they're all flipped over the other side in 2020...
I think it's on the screen now. I'll have another look in a minute.
Then it's a flood when all the planets are on that
That's
side.
right. Wasn't that 20? I can't remember. I'll have to have another look in a minute.
2023 or
something like that. Yeah. So did he predict this drought?
Yeah. He already posted it up on his...
Yeah. What was it? This is that post you were telling me about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Inigo Jones long-term weather predictions on Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Jeez. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Let's keep going.
in the past, scientists were really astronomers. So prior to 1826, when the word scientist was invented, prior to all that, they were all astronomers. So those are people who did all the weather. But you can't do it on computer models because they're not linear cycles. They rotate and there's this complex matrix.
Oh, okay. Yep.
It creates the invisible vibration, the energy that causes the weather.
So they can't actually program it because of like things like the wobbles. Like apparently occasionally the Earth gets a wobble in it from having Jupiter out there. Is that one of those anomalies that you have to refine?
Yes, well, Jupiter has the greatest magnetic force. It's about 2.5 times any other planet.
Yeah.
And so that has the greatest pull, and coincidentally it's pretty close to the sunspot cycles, which averages 11.11 years, and Jupiter's 11.86.
Yeah.
So there's a variance of 8 years to 13 years, depending what the other planets are doing, whether they pull it forward or pull it further out, and that's why you can't do it by a computer model. I mean, this is very basic, what I'm talking about here.
But you incorporate ancient cycles in there as well. I remember seeing this thing called the Bruxner cycle or something.
Yeah, the Bruxner cycle is 3 Jupiter cycles roughly, and Galileo was using it on agriculture way back in the 1600s. So he was the first one to use the 35 years, roughly the 35-year cycle, and Inigo used that here on the eastern state of Australia.
And it was pretty accurate, wasn't it?
Well, it's working now, so the future is just a repetition of the past.
I've got to tell you, mate, this is revelation to me because I do a bit of reading myself. Now, all the old scientists, Galileo,
he was mad.
Astronomers, weren't they? They were all astronomers, because this guy's not an astronomer, he's an astro-meteorologist.
That's right, he is.
He's not an astrologist, but they were all doing all that sort of the moon and the stars and everything else. I mean, all that shit goes back centuries, man, to the Druids, doesn't it?
Well, it's not that long ago, really. 400, 500 years ago. I think it was Copernicus.
Copernicus, that's the fella.
Copernicus.
Cornucopia.
Something like that. He was the first one to say, guess what? The Earth isn't the centre of our universe, it's the sun. And everyone just went, oh, put him away. Galileo said, actually, he's right. And he was a bit braver. And they went, lock him up. Of course, now they've proven all these years later. I apologise to Galileo's family.
And it was all about the stars and the sun and everything.
A telescope, even though they imprisoned him in his own home. And you would have said this guy was mad.
Well, I'll tell you what, mate. This is a real eye-opener for me.
It's a lot to take in.
It's like a curry and 10 pints of Guinness. It's a real eye-opener.
It doesn't hit you till later on.
Exactly right. The following day.
You won't be able to sleep tonight.
I can't
with all
believe
this information in your head.
Galileo, he was mad. Anyway, let's crack on. See what he's got to say.
So is Copernicus.
So is this bloke mad? No, he's not mad. Can't be. Anyway.
So you've been making predictions, and you've been on television making predictions, and amazingly some of those things came true. Just to quiet the skeptics about things, would you be at some point later on maybe willing to make another prediction which we can say, all right, this is say a month or 6 weeks out or whatever, and then go back to it and talk about it when that date comes?
Yeah, we can do that, but I haven't got anything just offhand at the moment. But a lot of all my predictions I put on my Facebook before they happen, and on Outsiders TV program I gave
Inigo Jones.
Yeah, I gave Rowan Dino a forecast 3 weeks, which he put on TV, and a cold day, and at
15th, 16th
of July, and it was freezing. And some cold records.
And you haven't heard too much from anyone else since then?
No, the ABC media have gone a bit quiet on it.
Well, I don't know where your office is here in Sydney, so they're not going to be able to find you. This high up, 11 floors.
Yeah, it's the same as the sunspot cycles.
11 floors up. Oh, let's go. What's that? I know we're 11 floors up here, but what is that?
It's a drought at Dubbo.
Hey, I see all these charts here, these big massive things. Do you print them out on your own printer over here?
Yeah.
This thing?
Yep.
That's specially made to print out long charts.
Yeah, so planetary positions of cycles. This is an eclipse one, and this
That
one.
is really quite a lot of work there.
This is
There's a lot of maths involved in that, isn't it?
this is actually the way Dan did it as well.
Yeah.
And basically, it's all these cycles are Jupiter, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus. So it's the positions of the planets coming together.
Is this the square that you used to call something a square of Jupiter or something?
Yes, well,
Something like that?
yeah, square of 144.
And these are all the symbols of the planets here.
Yeah, the signs are broken into 12 degrees, 30 degrees. So here is around here. So these are where all the planets happen, like here. This happened in 1553.
Wow.
So you use these energy points to see when they get triggered and cut.
So is this August 23rd this year?
That's just the permanent calendar
Oh, okay.
on the outside.
Right. And from that, you can sort of get a pretty good guide and then you refine it
With the smaller planets. So, you know, you get a ballpark of, like with the drought, you say, okay, there's going to be a drought between, 18 and 22, 2018 and 22. And then, of course, you get smaller rain periods in that, but that's caused by smaller cycles like Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter doing different things.
And nothing that humans do is going to make a difference to any of that.
No, I mean, if humans change the weather, then I wouldn't be able to predict.
Right, this is blowing my mind. Absolutely blowing my mind. This guy is dead set in his mind. He's saying
serious.
he's serious, isn't he?
Yeah.
This goes against everything.
I think a lot of people would like to, sit down and explain to him why he's wrong, or try and convince him he's wrong.
I'm going to give it a go.
Well,
actually, I won't, because I'm as thick as that new pig, Kenner.
Oh, look at that's what I'm talking about.
He's got a lovely pair of balls, hasn't he? No doubt about it. They swing nearly as low as mine now.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you want a quick drink and then we'll watch the rest of this?
Sounds good.
Right, we'll have a beer first. Let me just knock this off anyway for a second.
All right.
And now it's time for the little man. Bye.